Hey guys, I'm just here hanging out at the spring as usual, getting my zen on, stewing about what recipes I can share with yours truly. And today I thought, why not share my better cup of coffee? It seems like obvious, but I hadn't thought about it. And the reason why I came up with a better cup of coffee is, how I talk about eating like a native, or some people call it intermittent fasting, but I really consider it more eating like a native. And I talk about it in my discussions about how, like, if a native would have gotten up and foraged, hunted, several hours would go by before you actually, so your body, before you actually eat and you get back and make the fire, and everybody gets around the fire and eats, and so you actually work up an appetite and your body gets hungry before you actually give it food. And so, but unfortunately for us as Americans, we are accustomed to having our coffee. And we really need a cup of coffee in the morning. And unfortunately, all of our coffees are really riddled with sugars and all kinds of fats and things that are not good for our body to digest in the morning. And so I came up, well, mostly the sugars, but I came up with a better cup of coffee that's going to give you the sweetness you want, but not the sugar that your body has to put up the arsenal to digest in the morning. And I also added a little bit of brain power to it for the day. So I want to share that with you. And I will see you guys back at the Native Eats kitchen so I can share with you a better cup of coffee. See you there. So I'm actually going to show you 2 ways to make coffee. It's weird. It's called a doppio undertow, but it is so good. So I'm going to show you how to make that really, really quickly. You need espresso for it. So this is my makeshift espresso. So now what you're doing for this doppio undertow is I've pressed out this hot water that's been sitting in this coffee grounds. The amount of coffee grounds we put in, it's been sitting in it. It's not a lot. It's just a little bit of water for this doppio undertow because I'm trying to get a shot of espresso out of it. Two shots because I'm making 2 doppio undertows. You don't need to boil the water. You don't need to get it boiling, just like a almost boil. So these doppio undertows are going to start off, they're made with coconut milk. You need to get yourself a spoon that is on ice. At the bottom, you're going to put some kind of sweetener. If you're fancy enough in your kitchen where you have vanilla syrup, that's really what this recipe calls for. But you can use powdered vanilla, which I have in my kitchen. This monk fruit sugar is the secret to your Native Eats better cup of coffee. Because this is where, how we talk about fasting and how we talk about getting up in the morning and not digesting all of that. But this is sugar-free. This monk fruit sugar, I use this a lot. I talk about this a lot. You can get this just about anywhere. For your doppio undertow, you're making just a vanilla syrup out of a little bit of sugar, monk fruit sugar, and a little bit of vanilla. Well, I don't know. That's probably a lot. Use like 1/8 of a teaspoon. So now the next step to your doppio undertow, so fancy. In goes your shot of espresso. And I have a bunch of sugar on the side of my cup, so I'm gonna pour it on the side so it can absorb that. I'm gonna put my very nice shot of espresso. This is really strong because this I put in a little bit of the water beforehand into the French press. Probably about like a cup of water I put in. Now that I got my 2 shots of espresso out of there, I'm gonna go ahead and pour the rest of this water. You're gonna need to pull your press back up. Be very careful that you have not got any beans in there. And take your water, pour it in. I'm gonna recommend you stir this because all your beans are at the bottom. Just pour that water in. Give it 3 to 5 minutes on the timer, depending on how strong you like your coffee. But let's go on to the doppio undertow real quick while that's furling. Now you take this spoon that you have on ice and your coconut milk at this point, okay? And I have the sugar and the vanilla and the espresso in here. And you're just gonna take this cold spoon and you're gonna set it in and you pour the coconut milk. Don't move the cup, okay? Pour the coconut milk over the coffee. So you're gonna take your coconut milk again on this one and you're gonna just pour it right over that spoon. And I'm pouring in probably about a tablespoon. And so what you're gonna do is we're gonna take a shot of this. Salud. And down the hatch. So that's the Doppio Undertow. It's delicious. And you can put your French press down now. And you want to do it kind of slow. You know, you don't want to push your coffee like super fast. So let's go ahead and make this wonderful a better cup of coffee out of the Native Eats Kitchen. So we're going to use our monk fruit sugar. And all of this is like not precise measurements because, you know, it's however you want it. I'm gonna go with 1 scoop of the monk fruit sugar, 1 tablespoon of the monk fruit sugar. Then you're gonna go in with your MCT oil, and again, however you want it. I'm gonna put about a tablespoon in these cups. And this oil is really good for your brain. You know, and there is a science behind it. You can Google it. We're not gonna sit here and go into it, and I am no scientist. And these are just regular cups of coffee, so we're not gonna make them cafe con leche style. We're just gonna make them like as if you got up in the morning and you need coffee and you're not gonna go pay for it, and you're gonna make it at home, and you're gonna make it quality, and you're gonna add in your MCT oil and your monk fruit because you're not gonna need to digest that for the day, and you don't have to feel guilty about your cup of coffee and calories. And just add in however much you like. A little bit is good. You know, this milk is an amazing way to get good vitamins into your body, minerals, enzymes, and all that stuff. So what an amazing cup of coffee you end up with. You use your raw milk, you use your MCT oil, you use your monk fruit, you use your French press, and you use quality coffee, and you're gonna have an amazing cup of coffee. Salute to a better cup of coffee out of the Native Eats Kitchen, as you know, native coffee as you can get. So good. Anyway, thanks guys. Remember to like us, comment, subscribe, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to Native Eats today. We'll see you next time.